Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a kind request to each one of you to settle down so that we can begin this evening, and we dedicate this evening to the Bengal story that is rich with kindness. Times Philanthropy Honours by the Times of India is an initiative to appreciate those business owners who have stepped forward to contribute in their own ways to make Bengal a better place to live in. And they are sitting right in front of me. A very warm welcome to our chief guest, Dr. Shoshi Paja. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am. And also our eminent guest, Mr. Alupon Bandhopadhyay and Mr. Purnendu Chatterjee. Can we have a round of applause for our chief guest and our eminent guest amongst us? Thank you. Thank you each one of our esteemed guests who have joined us this evening. It's time for me to invite forward on stage Mr. Kaustav Chatterjee, Director of the Times of India, Languages, Brands and NPI, to join me on stage. A warm welcome to you, sir. And I request you to share a few words about this initiative of the Times of India.
A very warm welcome and good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, our chief guest and our esteemed guests. It's a wonderful pleasure to have all of you here today, and we are meeting post-COVID, I guess, in a physical event after quite some time. So that is an occasion in itself to remember. Philanthropy. This is not an alien concept to us Indians. In fact, it's ingrained in our culture, in our history. I could even go to the extent of saying that it's in our blood, across religion, across caste, across creed, across whichever part of the nation that we belong to. And for me, this is very aptly and very well summarized in a statement I had read somewhere, which went like, it basically is a question. So the question is, has everyone had supper tonight? And this is a translation of a Malayali statement made by Kerala feudal landlords in the history, some time back. Apparently, this was a practice of these feudal landlords to ask this question before they closed their gates, the main gates, every night. If you think about, that role has been taken on by government, but also by leading business houses in the country since quite some time, since the 19th century definitely. And one of the important, notable trusts that was formed, which was the first of its kind, was the Jain Tata Endowment Scheme, which was established in 1892. And Jamshedji himself was considered a contemporary and in the same league as that of Joseph Rowntree of UK and the Scottish American industrialist Andrew Carnegie. That was his stature and that was his contribution to the field of corporate social responsibility. In fact, in pioneering the concept that wealth creation as a means to public good was I think his big contribution in India. But it was not limited only to him. He was, of course, the most popular and the most well-known proponent of this. But there were many others. Corporate social responsibility, in any case, is the inclusion of a firm commitment or deliberate inclusion of public interest in corporate decision making, and a firm commitment to a triple bottom line, if I can call it that, of people, of the planet, and of profits. Now, this is in law, is enshrined by law because corporate social responsibility is now mandated. But many of you, and this has been borne out through the years, do it out of a deeper motive. It's not just dictated, the motivations don't come just because it's law. And I think we are celebrating this tonight. Whatever your motivation may be, and the motivations may be very diverse. It may be a personal, stray incident that triggered off an interest to do something. Or it may be a realization of a global change, like climate change, that's hitting closer to home, hard, our communities and all of that, which has led you to do something about it. But I think the deeper motive is coming from a place which wants to leave things better than you found it. And I think that gives a lot of purpose and joy to our lives and others as well. The Times of India has been dedicated to the commitment of a social agenda in our country, if I can call it that. It has consistently raised issues. It has consistently sparked debate and conversations of what needs to be done and the people who are doing it. And I think the Times Philanthropic Honours, today the event, is a culmination of one such initiative, a humble effort on our part, of several stories that we have essayed in the pages of the Times of India recently, of visionary philanthropists who have brought about some transformations that are notable for us to look at and be inspired by. So without further ado, I would want to kick off this entire event today so that we get right in to those visionaries, learn from their experiences, and may we all be inspired, and many more of us, through the pages of Times of India, to learn about these stories and get inspired to do more and carry this torch forward. Thank you.
Sir, I would request you to stay back so that you can welcome our chief guest for the lamp lighting ceremony. Once again, a very, very warm welcome to our chief guest, who is currently serving as Cabinet Minister for Industries, Commerce and Enterprises and Department of Women and Child Development and Social Welfare of the Government of West Bengal, Dr. Shoshi Paja. Requesting everyone to give her a round of applause as I take the opportunity to invite ma'am on stage. Thank you so very much, ma'am, for giving us your valuable time and being a part of Times Philanthropy Honours. I request ma'am to kindly go that side and commence the ceremony with the lighting of the lamp. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Good evening. For me, it's an honor. And definitely, I think it's a wonderful evening today because the thought is so noble. Philanthropy. And what better day could you have chosen? Today is also the birth anniversary of Mother Teresa, or we would say Saint Teresa. And she always said that peace begins with a smile. And I think you are extending that smile to millions by your philanthropic activities. Thank you to the Times of India. A special thanks to resident editor of the Times of India, Kolkata, Sri Shunando Sharkar, Shunandoda. And of course, Mr. Kaustav Chatterjee. It's nice that you have come down, and truly, I think it is one of the most important ways of, as you had mentioned about distribution, or to even get rid of the inequities, the social inequities or the economic inequities which exist around us through this corporate social responsibility that you execute. And I understand today there are many awardees who are being awarded for their wonderful work. And truly, Bengal has always been, or rather I would say we have always strived for this. I mean, we have always believed in social empowerment. We have always believed in inclusive growth. We have always believed in getting rid of those inequalities. And that is why I think our Honorable Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has also been a really, I would say, a social reformer. So we have so many such social welfare schemes, and some of them are, from my department, the erstwhile Department of Women and Child Development and Social Welfare. So that is a very important thought of the government, much as it believes in inclusive growth, much as, the Bengal story is of inclusive growth. It is of infrastructure upgradation which has happened. It also has boosted up the economy in Bengal, and extremely, I would say, Bengal, the gateway to Northeast India, even to the Southeast Asia, even sharing international borders with Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, and of course state boundaries with our neighboring states. So it's a very exciting place to be in, I think, in Kolkata and West Bengal. And it is wonderful, because I know most of you all. And in fact, you have not started. You have started, you have taken the mantle ahead because your families have started. Your parents, grandparents have started from Bengal, and that is such a matter of deep honor for us. Aren't we honored about that? So we are actually celebrating the philanthropic honors that families in Bengal have done for Bengal, and we hope to take this journey ahead. You please must have to excuse me because I wish I could stay for the rest of the ceremony, but I understand that I have certain obligations in my constituency too. In fact, I just came from Shilpo Shadon. I had so many visitors today. It's happening every day. And it is a very exciting thing that the new industry, commerce and enterprises, this itself is very interesting and challenging too. But of course, I think everybody who's been part of Bengal understands the culture, the ethos, the ethnicity, and how ethically, and of course we are very proud to call ourselves the cultural capital too. So we will work, and we are working for development and everything. And we want to take everybody in this stride. And of course, you form a very important member of this family of the state of West Bengal. It's very nice to see Mr. Alapan Bandopadhyay. He's also very much part of our family. He's the principal advisor to the Honorable Chief Minister too. Thank you all, and I really beg to be excused because I'm unable to continue with the award giving, but I truly appreciate the choices which have been made, and I truly appreciate your work, and thank you. Continue this work, and we are always there. This interface is always there. Dr. Panja will always be available to all of you at the beck of just one drop, just one call. I'm just a call away. So let's work together, and I think we will also take this ahead, and CSR will continue. As I said, that when I was working, and I'm still working with Women and Child Development and Social Welfare, I used to look for this. I was attending many of such interactive sessions or seminars. I would go to the chambers of commerce. Who would know that I would have to, again, deal with them directly? But I used to always ask for some qualitative work and assistance towards our children or the underprivileged that we look after. I still extend that appeal to all of you. And, it is not just the quantity that we are looking. We're not looking for quantity, but the qualitative work. We are just looking so that they are self-sufficient. We just need that little bit of hand-holding. We just need that little bit of empowerment that you can, from your end, extend to them. Thank you so much. Have a very good evening.
Those were indeed some encouraging words from you, ma'am. Thank you so very much once again for giving us your time. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to invite on stage Mr. Alapan Bandopadhyay, Chief Advisor for Honorable Chief Minister Srimati Mamata Banerjee, former Chief Secretary of State for the Government of West Bengal. Also, once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of it. A very, very warm welcome to you, sir. First and foremost, I would request Mr. Krishnendu Bandhopadhyay, Senior Assistant Editor, The Times of India, to felicitate Sir on stage. Thank you. So now I would request you to say a few words.
Kaustubh, Shunando, my friend, so many known and distinguished faces in the audience, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a privilege, as our minister was saying, and an honor to be here with you today. And the cause is so genuine, so honest, so ennobling, and also so smart a thing that I feel happy that I have been able to join you. Smart in the sense, charity has always been a civilizational tool to keep civilization intact despite so much of inequity, so much of inequality everywhere among so many strata. How do you keep cohesion despite so much of divisiveness which inequality necessarily generates? I guess that is why all major religions, all major philosophical systems, all major belief systems in all civilizations have promoted charity, which in the eyes of political scientists would probably be a tool for hegemony building for the elites. For the needy, those will be seen as mercy of God, whichever way we look at it. Corporate social responsibility is only one manifestation of philanthropy or charity. There could be many, but it's good that in our country we have envisioned a legal structure in the form of social responsibility from the corporate sector. In any case, because of long cherished values, because of religious compulsions, Indian rich men also have been over the centuries contributing towards philanthropy, sometimes secretly, sometimes not so secretly. And it's good that in times of aggravating inequality, we have structured this in the form of CSR. Post-liberalization and globalization in 90s, inequality has been increasing. If the system has enabled the capital to aggravate itself without being leashed, without being bound, then the free capital probably also has more ethical responsibility to give some amount of the enlarged corpus that they are getting towards building social equity. Corporate social responsibility, therefore, as I was saying, is noble, is great, is also smart, and is important as a survival strategy for all of us in the social fabric. Times of India, as the leading media house of the country, and as indeed a very balanced, honest, and reliable media group, has been doing, I honestly say, a great job by celebrating philanthropy. Unless we celebrate philanthropy, unless we choose to honor the ladies and gentlemen who come up with charity, philanthropy, help, support to the needy, the poor, the deserving causes, why should they feel enthused to do more? So if there was one evening where I wanted to be invited, Shunando, I am serious, then this was this evening. I thank you, Times of India, for doing honors to these wonderful gentlemen who are doing so much of good thing for everyone. And I honor you, the philanthropists, for doing such noble things for all of us. Thank you very much.
Sir, I would request you to stay back, please. Thank you for such inspirational words. Also, I requested you to stay back because we are about to start the much awaited recognition. Ladies and gentlemen, up next we have Mr. Bikram Dasgupta, founder and chairman of Globson Group. His focus is on 3 areas: helping children with congenital heart defects, helping children with special needs, and contribute to select old age homes. His mission is to give ailing children and old age people a better life. The AV, please.
Our entire family was driven through my mother's philanthropic deeds. Though I didn't set up an old age home, but I support over more than 6 or 7 old age homes.
Wish to thank Mr. Bikram Dasgupta and the foundation and his wonderful team that he has sent to meet us. Very best for the future, and maybe see all more of it. Thank you so much for thinking of us.
Philanthropic activity begins with something connected with what is happening in your family.
Mr. Bikram Dasgupta is not here at present, so I request Ms. Sharon Gomes to kindly come on stage and accept the honor on his behalf. Thank you for joining us today, ma'am. Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today has definitely shown us a different side of society. We have learned how fulfilling it could be if we include aspects and give back to the people, places who have nurtured us. With this thought, I, Anisha Thakkar, sign off for this evening, and I request all of you to proceed for dinner. Thank you so very much.